So what happened over the weekend that triggered this about face?
Well, we don't know exactly, but the stock tanked like 14% on Friday, and that probably had some influence on Musk's thinking. So he took the settlement deal, and then this weekend was a big weekend just for deliveries. So now the sort of narrative is back on how did the quarter go, and that's what everyone is focusing on now.
That said, what the SEC wanted in its original suit was much more extreme than this result. And there's a question, Ivan, did Musk and Tesla get off easy?
I think that the end result for Musk and for Tesla is very positive. I mean, the concern was that if he was no longer CEO, the company could really suffer. That could have hurt the employees, the shareholders, and the car owners. So I think this is an excellent outcome and allows him to be CEO. The company does need to have more governance in place. Obviously, if they had more governance, what had happened may have not have happened. So I think it's good for the company that they separate the chairman and the CEO role. They're adding 2 independent board members. And as I said, I think Elon is very lucky, and this is a great outcome for him and the company.
Dana, do you expect that separating the chair and CEO roles will actually have an impact at a company where Elon Musk is larger than life, and clearly he doesn't appear to be moderating his behavior?
Well, to be clear, he has to step down as chair, but he's still on the board, and he can be reelected as chair in 3 years. So it's like a timeout from the chairman role, but he's not like banned from being chairman for life. And I think what really matters is who are the 2 new independent directors going to be, and is the independent chairman going to be someone existing or someone new?
So, Ivan, do you expect that this will have an actual impact then on the governance of this company?
Yes, I think that the board, even though that they are very friendly to Elon and he is a board member, I think they needed to increase their governance, and I think that it will have a positive effect. And I think that the outcome is still very positive. There was concerns on Friday that this could be detrimental to the company, that there were people predicting that this, if he was removed as chairman, it could have put the company into a death spiral. So I think it would have negatively impacted the company. But so I think that having him remain as chairman, as CEO, is the most important thing, and that was the outcome. And I think that this is a positive step that they can now move forward to focus on production of the Model 3 and the introduction of the semi-truck and the new Model Y and the Roadster.
Meantime, we are waiting for key metrics on Model 3 production this week as we near the end of the quarter. Dana, you've been out reporting all weekend. We've had Bloomberg reporters dispatched to multiple locations, Tesla locations across the country to monitor delivery. What did we find?
They were jammed. So, it was uneven across the country. Like the Brooklyn store was pretty quiet on Saturday morning, but in Chicago, there were like 75 people all jammed into the showroom. And multiple reports on social media of people getting their cars as late Sunday night. And so it was by all means a heroic end of quarter push. Employees from across the country were volunteering at the showrooms. A lot of existing Tesla owners showed up to help out. Now we just need the actual numbers.
Ivan, what are the numbers you're going to be watching in terms of whether Tesla can deliver on these promises that Musk has made, even in the midst of all of this controversy?
Well, I think anything over 3,000 Model 3s a week would be positive. He did hit 6,000 one week a few months ago, but there's huge demand for the car, which is very good. I mean, the Model 3 is spectacular, as are the S and the X, which is the most important thing, that they produce a great car. There's a lot of demand for it, and there's a lot of excitement around the car and the company, and that is the key thing that will keep everything moving forward.
Dana, why is this quarter coming up so critical?
Musk needs to be profitable, and he said on the last earnings call that he expects to be sustainably profitable in the second half of the year. So if they have a strong delivery showing and can sell some ZEV credits, they might actually show a quarterly profit, which would be the first time in several years.
So, Ivan, all of this considered, we've got now some suggestions on independent board members. We're going to be speaking with Gene Munster of Loop Ventures a bit later in the show. He's suggesting Al Gore as a potential chairman for Tesla. What do you make of some of these names that have been thrown out there?
I think that somebody that has from the auto industry as chairman would really be more positive than somebody like Al Gore, who is outside the auto industry. I think
like who?
Bob Lutz would be a good name, even though Bob Lutz has been very critical of Elon and Tesla. So there are a number of retired and even current auto executives that I think would be very additive to the company.
Dana, what's your reaction to some of the names that we're hearing?
I think there needs to be another woman on the board for sure, and I would argue someone with utility experience, given Tesla's ambitions in the energy market. Traditional auto, I can't really see Tesla going along with that. I mean, their whole point has been to disrupt auto. But I don't know what the process is for searching for the new board members and who's going to decide if they're bringing in a search firm or not.
So what do we know about the timeline?
He has to resign as chairman within 45 days, and I'm imagining that they will try to get new board members as fast as possible, but I forget what the exact deadline is on that.
And Ivan, aside from Model 3 production, what are the other challenges ahead? I mean, you know, he's promised profitability. I mean, as late as what, Sunday, early Sunday morning, after this whole settlement was announced, he said another, you know, revving up the troops email to the entire staff talking about, you know, what needed to be done in order to deliver on this goal of profitability that he has promised.
Well, first, I do agree with Dana that the new board member should be a woman in light of the new bill that was just signed. And they do need to have some diversity on their board. But really the focus is going to be continuing ramping up the Model 3 production and the goal to profitability, because those are the two key promises that Elon has made. And then it will be the introduction of the semi-truck, which is also getting a lot of orders. In fact, Walmart Canada just placed an order for, I think, 30 more trucks, because their goal is to be 80% renewable fuel for their entire truck fleet by, I think, 2020. So there is a lot of interest from a lot of the trucking companies and the consumer product companies that truck a lot of goods in the new truck. And I think that will be the next game changer for the company.